Bill 303.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. April 22, 1951 was a difficult day for the Allied forces in South Korea as the Chinese Red Army began its spring offensive and numerically overwhelmed the American and UN forces. On a more personal level, it was a difficult day for a young man from a small farming community in northern Bedford County named William Glenn Kuntz. Bill Kuntz was captured and taken to a prison camp on the Chinese border of North Korea, where he spent the next 838 days as a prisoner of war. It's difficult for me to imagine the conditions that Bill and the thousands of other prisoners experienced during this time in captivity. Bill himself offered some descriptions of his time to the Morrison's Cove Herald, a local newspaper. He said that they, quote, slept like sardines, stuffed into overcrowded huts and forced to sleep on the floor. They were fed barely enough to stay alive, and in many cases, it wasn't enough. Bill said that he and others in the camp buried as many as 17 prisoners a day from dysentery and starvation. They were lectured at the beginning of each day on the blessings of communism and then tested on the material. And when the men gave answers that the guards did not seem to think were satisfactory, they were beaten or worse. There were no medical supplies given to the prisoners, so the medics among them suggested putting maggots on any open wounds to eat the infection. This was Bill's life for 838 days, and this was just a part of his sacrifice that he willingly offered for America. After his long-awaited homecoming, Bill returned to what he loved, farming. He bought an orchard and was a local postmaster, became a devoted family man, married to Blanche, his wife who survives him, along with his son, William Jr., who's with us today, and stepson, L.G. Will, and 7 grandchildren. Now, I've given you just a brief overview of Bill's story, but believe me, it goes much deeper. And to be perfectly honest, learning of this man's incredible journey gave me a new perspective on what it is that we do here when it comes to naming roads and bridges. I know that at times the media and others have questioned what role these kinds of bills actually have in our legislative process. But to put it quite simply, it's about remembering these incredible stories and the individuals that have shaped this state and this nation with their sacrifice. Every time I see a road or a bridge named after one of our fallen heroes, it now makes me stop and think, I wonder what this story was about, because I know that there's one to tell. So why do we do this? We do this because it's a reminder of what so many named and unnamed have done so that we may be free. We do this because there is value in passing these stories along to the next generation to follow. We do this because Pennsylvania remembers her heroes, heroes like Bill Kuntz. So it's my honor to offer House Bill 303 in his memory, and I personally want to thank his son, Bill Jr., for being with us today, and I'd ask that he stand so that he may be recognized as well. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I would ask for an affirmative vote on 303.